Alright, so I'm hoping that this is going to be the last video of the Unit 1 notes. Well, actually, technically, there might be another video, or there's another bit of notes, but hopefully I'm going to try and breeze through kind of the rest of these notes. So this is kind of the end of where we left off last time, plus we're also going to kind of go into graphing linear equations as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we got... So now what we want to do is we want to write an equation of a line that passes through this point right here and also is perpendicular to that point, to this line right here. Now the first thing we have to do, and we have our steps over here, is we got to identify the new slope. So I'll write m, kind of that's just your old slope. Your original slope already is 5/2, which means that your new slope, again, for perpendicular, it's the negative reciprocal. So it's positive, negative 2/5. Literally, just take the fraction and flip it. And then, let's write the equation. And then, using this new point here, we're going to write out the equation in point-slope form. So I have y minus my x value, my y value, so it's negative, so I'm just going to turn this positive 4 equals negative 2/5 times x negative 5, so it'll be x plus 5. Again, it's always kind of the opposite when you're moving from here to here. And then from there, what you can do is we solve for this y here, so I'm going to distribute this negative 2/5, y plus 4 equals negative 2/5 x minus, that's actually just going to turn to negative 2. And then we subtract the 4 over, and I'm going to get y equals negative 2/5 x minus 6. So again, two different equations, or two different equations, but they basically all tell you the same exact thing. Going to this one here, so you want a line that is through that point and is parallel to this, I think it's the same equation. Now remember, the old slope is 5/2. Parallel means that it's the same slope. So basically, my new slope is still going to be 5/2. It's going to be the exact same thing. So what I'm going to do is same as I did before, use this point to set a point-slope form. So I'm going to do y minus my y value, which is 8, equals 5/2, and then in parentheses x minus a negative 2, which is the same as x plus 2. And then, solving for slope-intercept form, I'm going to distribute the 5/2 out. Y minus 8 is equal to 5/2 x plus 5, and then add the 8 over, add the 8. You're going to get y is equal to 5/2 x plus 13. Alright, so you get point-slope, slope-intercept. Two different types of equations. Okay. Now, going into graphing these lines. So again, we're going to go from writing these lines that we were just doing, now to graphing them. So we've written them out. Now we want to go graph them on a graph here. So slope-intercept form, what we use for this, again, we're going to use the y-intercept and we're going to plot it. And then we're going to identify the slope and use it to plot points, basically. And then we have to just connect the dots. So, again, my m is going to be my slope. And b is going to be my y-intercept. So let's figure out what my slope. So my slope here is in front of the x, so it's going to be a 4. And my y-intercept is going to be a 5. So the first thing I do, plot the y-intercept. That's any point that's going to be on this line right here. It's going to be right there. Y-intercept of 5. Now this slope, the way that we use the slope in order to get more points, remember this is the same as the slope of 4/1, so I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4 points, and then write 1 point. And I can also go the opposite way, so I literally use the opposite directions. Down 1 and then to the left 1, or down 4 to the left 1. And all you really need are the 3 points in order to graph it. And that's basically how you graph it. Of course, you'll have a better line than what I have there. Okay. So if we do the same thing for this one, identify my y-intercept, b, that's going to be negative 3. let's just go ahead and plot that. Again, let's on this y-axis here, it's going to be down here at -3. Slope is going to be -1/3. Now it's going to be a negative slope, so we have to be careful with this. So let's go negative. So let's start by just going down. So automatically negative, that should tell you that I need to go down. So I'm going to go down 1 and then to the right 3. And then if I go the other way, I'm going to go up 1, left 1, 2, 3. All right, so again, rise on the top, run on the bottom. All right, and then this is also why you should be able to know, well, hey, this line looks like a negative slope. You should know that anything that's kind of going down on the right side here, it's going down, should be a negative slope. So again, graphing lines in slope-intercept form, again, fairly straightforward there. Now let's graph the lines in the standard form. Now these are a little bit different. We're actually only finding 2 points, and those 2 points actually just so happen to be the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Oh, I'm too forward. And so find the x-intercept, find the y-intercept, and the way we do that is we just, well, to find the x-intercept, plug the 0 in for y. To find the x-intercept, the y-intercept, plug in 0 for x. And again, the way that you can actually do this, you don't even have to do math with this. Take the -2y and just get rid of it. That way you'll be left with an equation 4x equals -16. And if you solve for x, you can get x by itself, you're going to get an x-intercept of -4. You can do the exact same thing by getting the y-intercept by just covering up the x. Cover the x up, and you're left with that equation, -2y is equal to -16. Divide by -2 on both sides, you'll get a y-intercept of 8. And then all you have to do, plot those points. The x-intercept of -4. So on the x-axis, I'm going to go over to -4. Go right there to -4. And then on the y-axis, go up to a +8 right there. And then connect the dots. And you don't have to do any more dots. That's all you got to do for that. All you have to do is just find those 2 points, find the 2 dots, and connect them. Let's do another quick example here. So, standard form. Got the x's and the y's on the same side. What I'm going to do, let's just start with my y's. What the heck? I'll take that x, I'm just going to cover it up. I'm left with the, too far. Left with the equation -4y is equal to 40. Divide the -4 on both sides. 40 divided by -4 gets us a -10 for my y-intercept. If we go back, do the same thing but cover up the y this time. I'm left with 5x equals 40. To solve for x, divide by 5 on both sides. I'm going to get x is equal to 8. So I have an x-intercept of 8 and a y-intercept of -10. So go on the x-axis, go to +8, which is going to be right here. And then on my y-axis, I'm going to go to -10, which is right down there. And then all I got to do, connect those 2 dots right there. Just connect the dots. All right. So that's the graphing. So we've gone over slope-intercept form, a couple examples with that, a standard form. Now let's do, where's my thing at here? Now we'll do the last, which is graphing lines in point-slope form. Now, point-slope form graphing is actually basically very similar, almost the same process for that we use for slope-intercept form. So we're going to identify the points, the point instead of the y-intercept. Identify the, actually no, wait, let me go back. Sorry about that. So going back to what we're talking about. So instead of identifying the slope, we're actually going to identify the, the point, we're going to identify the slope. And then we're going to identify the point and plot it. Again, point, we're just talking about an ordered pair. And then use the slope to find new points. Very straightforward. So This b, there's a typo here. This b should technically be an m, so that we're trying to find the slope. So again, using point slope form, I should know that this number right in front here is my slope. So I'm going to use -3/2 for that. So that's my slope. And then my point, we have to do a little bit of deconstruction here. X plus 5, that is, again, when I'm thinking of point slope form and going from here to the point, it's going to be the opposite of what the symbol is here. So if it's so my x value is a 5, but it's a positive here, so it's going to be a negative in the point. And then right here, my y value is going to be a 4, but instead of positive, it's going to be negative. Again, always the opposite of what this point of what this symbol is right here. So from that, what I'm going to do, go ahead and plot the point -5, 4. So I go x -5 down to -4. My slope is -3/2, so I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and then right 2. And I can do that again, down 1, 2, 3, right 2. Go the opposite way, go up 1, 2, 3, go over 2. And I can do that again, 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2. And then just connect your dots there. Connect your dots there. So once again, opposite symbol of whatever is kind of right by the y's and the x's. So do this example here. So I got to identify my slope. Once again, I see that that's this number right here. So it's going to be -4/5. And then my point, my x, is a 1, opposite of this, so -1. My y is going to be 8, but opposite 8 is going to be, opposite of -8 is going to be +8. So I got a point of -1, +8. I'll go ahead and graph that. I go left to the 1, and then I go up 8 right there. And then use that slope, -4/5, so it's a negative slope. So I got to go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can even do that one more time. I could do down 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my point. That's my line right there. Now the last equation, now the last bit of examples that we're going to be going over is vertical and horizontal lines. So just kind of fill this last part in here. So a vertical line and a horizontal line. So if I had a vertical line, so again, vertical is straight up and down. Let's say I had a vertical line that goes right through here. You think, what axis is this passing through? What axis does this point pass through? You should know that that is the x-axis. So basically what that tells us is that any vertical line is going to be x equals a. And a is just going to be a number. And then a horizontal line is going to be y equals b. Again, b just being a number. So this line right here is actually the equation x equals 3 because it passes through the point 3 right there. And then if we look at these other equations, y equals 5, go up to the 5 on the y. Y, it's going to be a horizontal line, so it's now going to just kind of be straight across like this. Y equals 2, go up to 2 on the y. Go horizontal, just like we did with the last one. And then the last one, x equals -2. Oh, I'm going to go down to -2 on the x, actually go over to -2 on the x right here. And then it's going to be x, so I'm going to do a vertical line, straight up and straight down. Okay? That is the end of the video notes for Unit 1. Thank you guys for watching. Be on the lookout for more videos.